In this video, we're talking about the single biggest asset in your creative business. You need to make sure this asset is running at its best at all times. This asset is you, the business owner. Let's get into it. Hey there, if you're new here, my name's Chris. I'm teaching photography and how to start a creative business. I want to say a special hi to all my new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're talking about the most important asset in your business. As a business owner, you are the asset. You are the most important part of the business. I don't really hear this talked about a lot in the business niche on YouTube or on other platforms. As a business owner, especially in the early stages, the business is a direct reflection of you, of how you feel, of how you manage things, of how you make decisions. If you're not at your best, the business isn't going to be at its best either. When you're showing up on a daily basis to pitch to clients, to do the creative work, to do the marketing, if you're not at your best, the work you're doing won't be the best either. Obviously, this makes perfect sense, but it's still not always talked about. When you're working a typical job for someone else, if you don't show up as your best self, you can just blend into everyone around you anyways. But when you're in charge and it's your company, you need to be at your best. Now, I'm not saying that you won't have bad days. We all have them. I usually have a day every week where I just don't feel productive, and that's okay. What I'm saying is, do things that will help you minimize the bad days and maximize the good days. There are a lot of things outside of our control that can affect this, but there are also tons of things that are perfectly within our control that we can do. Go and watch any entrepreneur daily routine video, and they'll tell you stuff like wake up at 4 a.m., take a cold shower, meditate, go on a run, and all this other stuff. And it may work for them, but it doesn't mean that it's a one-size-fits-all formula. Start being conscious about the habits that you have and figure out how they make you feel. Do you work out in the mornings or evenings? Does working out give you energy or drain energy? By observing how it makes you feel, you can either do it at the beginning of the day or the end of the workday. Does reading make you feel inspired? Maybe start reading for 30 minutes at the start of your workday. Have you tried meditation? Maybe this will help you focus during the day. What I'm telling you to do is to analyze the things you do on a daily basis and figure out how they actually make you feel. Start maximizing the things that make you feel good and minimizing the things that make you feel bad. Again, this isn't rocket science, but until you actually make an effort to notice these things, nothing will change. One big thing for me was changing my breakfast and lunch, so I'm eating the same thing every day. I noticed that I often felt sluggish in the afternoons after lunch. I thought maybe I was crashing from coffee, maybe I was working too hard in the morning, but then I started switching up my lunch. I went from eating whatever to having the same meal replacement shake every day. Each day is the same thing. I don't have to think about it and I'll feel great afterwards. I was able to maintain my energy levels through the afternoon just by noticing what my habits were throughout the day and experimenting with them. You might be thinking this is a lot of work, and it is, but it's something you have to do once, and after that, you're done. After you figure out what works for you, you can just stick with it. What's the alternative? You click away from this video and you don't try and change anything? That's fine, and you may feel like you're getting a lot of work done, but I will say, if you have more energy and you're more productive throughout the day because of good habits, you'll be able to do all your work in way less time. You can stay focused for longer and make decisions faster and better if you're at your best self. Set yourself up for success and you'll be rewarded with that freedom. Isn't that what we all want? Isn't that why we got into this entrepreneurship game to begin with? Now let's talk about investing in yourself for a little bit. As an entrepreneur, investing in yourself is one of the best things you can do early on. Like I said, you're the number one asset in the business, so it makes sense to invest into that asset. What do I mean exactly by investing in yourself? A great way to do this is to learn things from online courses. There are people out there teaching things in online courses for a fraction of what it would cost to get the same skills from a university. The barrier to entry has been lowered, and it's never been easier to invest in yourself. If you feel weird about paying someone for an online course, then YouTube is a great alternative. You can still learn a lot on this platform. I spent a lot of money on online courses, and I was hesitant at first because I didn't know if they would be worth it. I can tell you right now that the return I got on these courses is far greater than any investment I've made in the stock market. You can definitely learn things by yourself, but that will cost you a lot of time. Invest in yourself early on in this entrepreneurial game, and you won't regret it. Another way I invested into myself was quitting my corporate job and going into photography full time. Let me explain. At the time, I only had a couple clients under my belt, but I saved up 6 months of living expenses. The plan was to invest in myself by giving myself 6 months to see if I could make my business work. Those 6 months were some of the hardest parts of my business, but I was so glad I was doing it full time. I was actually happy to show up to work each day. I got rid of what was draining me, the 9-to-5 job, and replaced it with something that brought me pure joy. This ties in perfectly to what I was saying earlier. Get rid of the draining parts of your life and replace them with things that give you energy. Do this and your business will thank you for it. You'll be more productive, make better decisions, and ultimately make yourself a lot more money. I appreciate you watching. I think it's awesome that you want to get better at creative business. If you want to stay notified for any future videos I put out, please consider subscribing to the channel. All right, I'll see you in the next video.